gonna be some painting and drawing. Art club, there's gonna be some painting and drawing. Some of the time we might do drawing and painting, but most of the time we will do painting and drawing.
Grab a pencil, grab a brush, we're about to do Art Club!
Hello and welcome back to a new Art Club. Have you missed me? The answer, of course, is yes, we have, Olaf. I'd like to say a big welcome back to anybody who's watched any of my art clubs before, and a special welcome to any new art clubbers. You've missed out on loads of great art clubs. Where have you been? You can go back and watch all of them. They're still online, so I don't know why I'm complaining. Today's episode is going to be really good, but before I tell you all about that, I'm going to quickly run down a few of the rules. The rules of Art Club. Rule number 1. There are no rules. Rule number 2, ignore the first rule. And rule number 3, always wear stripes. I've got mine on. If you've got yours, that's like a bonus. Or actually, there's also a thing called a subscribbler. That basically means if you or your parents or your teacher had clicked subscribe on my YouTube channel, then you are officially a subscribbler and you can download a certificate that looks a bit like this. There's a link somewhere in the comments down below, and once you've printed that out you can colour it in, but you can only colour it in once you've done all the different kind of things on there. You'll know what I mean. It'll look like this. To be honest, you don't have to be a subscriber to download that and colour it in. I'm not the art police. I'm not going to stop you if you want to do it anyway. Just go for it. Right, before I do tell you what's coming up, a few quick things. Please, if you haven't, do click subscribe. Do share this episode. Click like, comment, share it with your friends, share it with your teachers. Big shout out actually to all of the teachers who are setting Watch Olaf's Art Club as their art homework. You are the best and you're also very clever and I love you. Oh, actually, before we move on, I had an email a couple of weeks ago from a person called Jamie in Portsmouth, and he wanted to know how I remember exactly what it is that I need to say. Now, Jamie, that's quite a tricky one because I never used to be good at this until I heard about a thing called cue cards. Now, what cue cards are is a bit of card that is by the camera, and on the bit of card is a queue of people, and I just look at the queue of people and imagine that each person in the queue is a different thing that I need to say, and it really helps. So yeah, cue cards, they're really good. Right, what have we got on the show? Okay, so on the show today we are doing a 2-part drawing. It's going to be not a mermaid. I'll explain that in a bit. That's coming next. We're going to be doing an artist. The artist is called Jean-Michel Basquiat, and I've done a rap song because I'm so cool.
Basquiat, Jean-Michel Basquiat.
The rap actually features Jeff, my pet bat, who is just overcoming an illness at the moment, so listen out for that when you hear the song later. We're also going to be drawing some fish. It's quite a sea-related episode, this. And we're going to be doing an old exercise with one of the favourite characters from Art Club. You'll know what I mean when I do it. Anyway, I think we need a joke and then we'll get on.
What does a cake who needs some peace and quiet hang on its door? A "Do Not Disturb" sign. And that joke was from Jeremy, age 7.
Right, it's time for the 2-part drawing, and what that is a drawing that we do in 2 parts. The first part we're going to do now, we're going to be drawing a Dadmer. If you don't know what a Dadmer is, then think of a mermaid, which is half a fish from the word mer, and half a girl from the word maid, but swap it around so it's a maid-mer, and that would be the top half of a fish and the bottom half of a girl. Now think if it wasn't a maid, if it was a dad. That would be a dadmer, top half of a fish, bottom half of a dad. Now we're going to be drawing a dadmer. I'm going to be drawing a dadmer. You can draw whatever you want, to be honest with you. You could draw a mum-mer, an auntie-mer, an uncle-mer, a sister-mer, any kind of weird creature, as long as it has the top half of a fish and the bottom half of some kind of human. I'm going to be doing a dadmer because I think that dads are funny, but then again, I would say that because I'm a dad. Right, all you need is a blank sheet of paper and something to draw with. I'm going to be using this fancy brush pen. And we're going to do the top half, which is the fish part now, and then we'll come back and we'll do the bottom half at the end of the show. So what you need to do is start around about here, and we'll do a curved line that kind of goes something like that, and perhaps bring this down a little bit more. This is going to be his kind of head down to his neck, and then we're going to draw the mouth is kind of like so, Now, if at any point I get too quick for you and you need to pause, just pause and then catch up in your own time, because I will be doing it quite quickly because I've done it before, and also I might cheat and put some bits in fast forward. So if I do go too fast, just pause it, catch up, that's fine. Right, the next bit is going to be a line that kind of goes and then curves round about there. And then we'll curve this line here. And that is kind of your main head of the Dadmer. And we'll draw an eye, sort of around about here, so a circle. And then inside that circle, we'll draw another circle. And now all we're going to do is some fins that are going to go on his kind of side, on his back, and the flippery fins at the front there. Let's do the flippery fins first. So we'll do one around about here. So it's this kind of shape. I don't know what kind of shape you call that. A flippery fin shape. And then we'll do another one just coming from the front here. And in those, we'll draw some like lines that look like this. Kind of give it a kind of a ridged fin kind of texture. Now this fish is going to have quite a few. So we'll do this one here that almost looks like hair. And again, we'll put some lines in. I'm going to be drawing some fish actually later on towards the end of the show, and it's quite a good exercise, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Let's draw another big fin along the back here. I mean, I'm doing quite a few fins just because they're a lot of fun to colour in. And I think the more fins you give a fish, the more like a fish it looks like. And there are no rules. There's so many different kinds of fish. You can give it as many fins or as few fins as you like. We're going to do a couple of lines here. So one there and one there. And they're going to be the gills. And gills are the thing that fish use to breathe. If you don't know, by the way, that is the noise that will occur every time I say anything that is ever so slightly educational, so I apologise for that. Let's do a little fin just sticking out of the gill there as well. Just here, quite a big one. I'm going to put some lines in that. And I think that's probably enough fins. What I'm going to do now is give it some scales. And the scales are these kind of curvy bits, like lots of letter U's kind of stuck together. And then again here, just going behind that fin and coming out the other side. And you can add in as many or as few as you like. I might just carry mine down a bit, all the way down here, and this will be my last few, a little bit there. And you know what? I think that is the first part of my Dadmer, the mer part, done. So join me at the end and we'll finish it off.
Grab a pencil, grab a brush, we're about to do Art Club!
Right, I thought what we would do now is something that combines two old favourites. It's basically one of my favourite exercises from the first lot of Art Club. It might even be Art Club episode 1, I'm not sure, I'd have to check. And it combines it with one of your favourite characters. That is the bouncing bum. And we're going to combine that with the animation technique I showed you ages ago. Do you remember it? Don't worry if you don't, because I'm going to show you how to do it again now. What you need is a sheet of A4 paper, and you need to kind of cut it in half this way. And if you don't want to cut it in half, if you don't have scissors, or you do need to get it in 2 bits, but if you fold it in half and then open out the fold and then fold it back in on itself and press it down, use your fingernail to press it down, and then open it out again and then fold it back in on itself and then use your finger. It weakens the paper along that fold. And then if you do it 4 or 5 times, back and forward, eventually it becomes so kind of weakened that you can just tear it, and fingers crossed, it will tear just along that dotted line. There we go. So now we've got 2 halves. We're only going to use one of those halves and fold it in half. And if you remember what I did, I curled my pencil around it and I kind of flicked it back and forwards and it made a face animate. I think I did a face with its tongue sticking out. Right? We're not going to do that. We're going to do the bouncing bum, and it's only going to be 2 stages, so it might not be as smooth as my bouncing bum animation, but it'll be quite good nonetheless. So first up, we open it up So it's almost like a card, so it opens that way. And we're going to draw a bouncing bum here. And you can use a pencil if you like. I'm going to go straight in with the pen. And I'm going to do this one like this, quite high up. And I'm going to add a little bit of shading on this side. So a few lines that just go around there and around there. And to show that it is up, I'm going to draw a little shadow there. Now what you do is you fold back over and you can just see through, so you can trace where you need to trace. And I need the second bum to be hitting the floor. So I'm going to get my pen again. And we know that shadow is where the floor is. So I'm going to draw this second bum. And the second bum is going to be kind of a bit wider and a bit thinner, as though it's squished down. So a bit wider, as though it's squished as it's landed, like so. Might be a bit too squished there, but not to worry. And we'll add a little bit of shading again. And I'll add a bit of a shadow underneath, like this. And I might even add a few little lines like that, as though it's kind of just landed. Actually, on this one, I might just add a little line there, a little line there. And then hopefully, when we animate this, it will look like the bouncing bum is bouncing. What you need to do to animate, get a pencil. It needs to be a round pencil. I've got a little Star Wars one here. It's quite nice. And you wrap it around the top layer of your animation. And you kind of curl it around. Takes a bit of doing. There you go, I think I've got it. And you curl it like so. And then perhaps do it again. So you want a nice tight curl around your pencil, and kind of just rub it as you go, just so it kind of almost heats up a little and sticks to your pencil. So just rub it all the way. There you go, it's like almost like a spring, so it kind of springs back. And what you do is you hold it on one side here, and you quickly hopefully it should look like your bum is bouncing. There you go, it's a really fun technique, and you don't have to do a bouncing bum, you don't have to do a tongue sticking out, you can do whatever you like. Give it a go, show me what you've done using the hashtag OlafArt.
Why do ducks have tail feathers? To hide their butt quacks. And the joke has come from David.
Right, it's time for our 1 minute artist bit, and this week we're going to be learning about an artist called Jean-Michel Basquiat.
1 minute artist, Jean-Michel Basquiat. Jean-Michel Basquiat was born in 1960 in Brooklyn, New York. His mother was also born in New York, but her family were originally from Puerto Rico. His dad was from Haiti. He is best known as a street artist who was prominent in the 1980s. His artworks were influenced by graffiti, punk and hip-hop cultures, and a lot of his paintings covered topics such as race, equality, celebrity, poverty, greed and discrimination. Basquiat was a mixed media artist who used lots of different materials. He didn't just work on canvas, he also painted on cardboard, wood, metal and even old doors. Recurring themes in Basquiat's paintings were heads, skulls, crowns and animals. His artworks also included lots of words. One of Basquiat's art heroes was Andy Warhol. He first met him when he was 19 and they formed a close friendship. Basquiat painted this picture of himself with Andy Warhol in 1982. Basquiat once said, "I was a really lousy artist as a kid. I'd never win painting contests. I remember losing to a guy who did a perfect Spider-Man." And that was Jean-Michel Basquiat in a minute.
Well, that was quite interesting, wasn't it? And unfortunately also a little bit educational. Sorry. Now, I think Basquiat is a really cool artist and I really enjoy looking at his pictures, but they do make me feel a bit inferior and they make me wonder, am I cool? And you know, I really get worried about things like that, so I decided the best way to get those worries out was to put them in a rap.
Stepping out my door, all I got is worry and strife. Feeling kind of useless like a plastic fork or knife. My kids say you're embarrassing, dad, you're far too old to try and rap. What can I say? My beard is grey, I look like a wizard in a baseball cap. The funniest thing I've ever done was play the bagpipes on a cat. Why can't I be much cooler, just like Jean-Michel Basquiat? Basquiat, Jean-Michel Basquiat. Basquiat, Jean-Michel Basquiat. He spent his whole career combining rap and punk and street art, but all I've ever done was make a book about a duck farm. His outcomes, race and equality, okay, so I do make a look at tea, unfairness and justice and poverty. Sometimes it can be a bit milky. My art is getting better, just like Jeff, my sick pet bat, but I wish my art was half as good as Jean-Michel Basquiat's. Basquiat, Jean-Michel Basquiat. Basquiat, Jean-Michel Basquiat.
There you go, I hope you enjoyed that. Hopefully Jeff, my pet bat, is feeling better. I've not seen him around, hopefully I'll see him soon. Let's get on with making our very own Basquiat. Basquiat was a mixed media artist, and what that basically means is he would use paint, he would use ink, he would draw, he would paint onto canvas, paper, cardboard, all sorts of different things. Sometimes he would stick things down, sometimes he would glue stuff. He was a street artist, so a lot of his paintings had kind of graffiti-ish elements and reflected the city where he grew up. Also, he was quite obsessed with skulls and heads and body parts, and also quite a lot of his pictures had animals in. You see some with elephants and fish and all sorts of other things. So I thought we could create our own mixed media Basquiat. Now, I am going to use a bit of cardboard. I know, I'll use my cue card from earlier. Do you remember that? And I'm going to be sticking some things on. I'm going to be using some wax crayons as well. If you've got wax crayons, great. If you haven't, it really doesn't matter. Now, also I thought, when I'm talking about worries, a friend of mine told me a good thing. Obviously, the time we're in at the moment is quite... 2020 wasn't the best of years, was it? Actually, I made an animation because a friend of mine told me that 2020 was a lot like a big dog poo. So I thought, I know, I'll do an animation. It looked a bit like this. Quite good, isn't it? Anyway, yeah, so we're all a bit worried. Don't worry. Honestly, things are gonna get better, obviously. All I'm doing here is a thing that a friend told me about. What he does when he worries is he writes down 3 things that he is really happy about and grateful for, and then he writes down 1 thing that he's worried about, and he crosses the thing that he's worried about out, and then he focuses on the 3 good things. So I thought we could do that with a Basquiat painting. It's kind of worries, and then also 3 things that you're really happy about. So I'm going to start here, and I'm going to start with my 3 words. Now, I'm really happy because I've got a family, they make me happy. I'm really happy because I've got art club, and what else? There's quite a lot of stuff. I'm happy because I can still get to watch the football. That hasn't stopped yet. So family, art, football, your 3 can be different. And what am I worried about? Oh, I'm worried that I'm not cool enough, you know. That was what my whole rap was about, really. So I'm going to put that down. Actually, let me move this to the side for a moment, and I'm going to use a bit of paper, and I'm going to do one of my words on this bit of paper, and I'm going to use some wax crayons. I've got wax crayons here, and if you haven't got these, you don't have to do this. You can do whatever you like, really, but I'm just going to show you a little thing. It's quite cool. So what I'm going to do, that's a pink. I thought that would be a red, but it's not. Here's a red. I'm going to do a bit of a rainbow in wax crayons. And once I've done my rainbow, I'm going to cover it over using a black crayon. And once you cover that over in black, you'll need something to scrape off the black. And once you've scraped off the black, you should see the rainbow behind. And I'm going to use this for the art word, the word art. And to scrape, I got these little kind of wooden sticks. I think I got them from the kitchen. I don't know what they were for, but you can use a biro with the kind of thing clipped in so it doesn't draw. You can just scrape. You can use the end of a paintbrush, anything that can scrape. And I'm going to scrape into this the word art. And you'll see, as I do that, it can be quite scratchy because Basquiat's style was quite rough and ready and energetic. And you can see the colours behind coming through. So this is my A. And like I say, it can be quite scratchy. And then I'll do my R next to it. Doesn't have to be neat. The thing about Basquiat's work was it was quite vibrant, quite energetic. It was quite rough and ready. And then hopefully if I do my T here, you should see the blues and the purples coming through. There we go. And what I'm going to do once I've done this, I will blow off. Hopefully I won't blow off. I'll blow off the bits of black. If you've got a nice carpet, don't do that. I just haven't got a nice carpet. And then I'm going to cut that out and I'm going to stick it onto my artwork. I'll probably leave it to one side for now. Let's get this in front of me. Now, what I will be doing is an animal that will be eating my worry. So my worry was that I'm worried that I'm not cool enough, and I'm going to be having an animal that's going to be eating that. Your animal can be whatever animal you like. I think I'm going to draw some kind of chameleon. So again, I could do that on a separate, I might do that on a separate yellow piece of paper. And your chameleon or your crocodile or kangaroo or elephant or dog or cat or whatever it is can be as rough and as simple as you like. A lot of Basquiat's drawings were quite childlike. My own daughter, she said to me, it looks like a 2-year-old did it. And that is because he's trying to make his art look a bit like art from ancient cultures, and also a bit like street art, so a bit like rough and ready and quick. So I'm going to try and draw a Basquiat style chameleon. Chameleon is one of those like lizard things that has the big eyes that swivel around. And again, if you go over the lines, it really doesn't matter. It just gives them a bit more kind of energy. I mean, I'm doing this really, really quickly just to give it that kind of rough and ready feel. There's his kind of curly chameleon tail. Do I do his tongue now or do I save it till later? Let's do it now. Tongue coming out. Chameleons have long tongues. And then I'll colour my chameleon in using some different kind of greens. And let's give him some teeth as well. I mean, you can use pens, you can use all sorts of stuff. That was the joy of being a mixed media artist, is that you weren't kind of just stuck to paints. You used everything. You can be as rough and as ready as you like. And once you've done that, get some scissors and cut it out and stick it to whatever you're using. Get my cue back. Cue of people, and I'll stick that there. You get kind of a layered effect, and Basquiat did a lot of street art, and a lot of that is graffiti, where you see like words on walls, and you kind of see layers as that gets kind of painted over throughout the years. There we go. Actually, let me cut out art as well. Where did I leave my scissors? Out there? I need those two other words as well. So I've got art, I need family and football. Now actually, for the family, I've got a candle here, which is wax. It's basically like a clear wax crayon. And I'm gonna write the word family here. Now you're like, Olaf, I can't see that, what was the point? Don't worry, I'm gonna use one of these kind of paint pens, and I'm gonna go over the top of it, and hopefully, yes, there we go. Can you see where I did the wax crayon? The letter is showing through. Let's just use the green for the rest. Family. And I'm gonna write not being cool. Just use this brush pen. Not being cool enough, because I know I'm cool, but am I cool enough? And because our chameleon is eating that up, I'm going to kind of half cross it out. There we we go. So it's almost like, that's the worry that I don't need to worry about because my chameleon is taken care of. And the good things in my life, I'm going to stick on here. So I've got family, I've got art, and I will put football in a second. Let me just use some glue on this. I'm going to write the word football, and I might just write that using a pen or a crayon or something. Actually, my favourite football team play in orange, so I might use an orange. F-O-O-T-B-A-L-L. Now what you really need to do is like colour it in a bit and just add some lines and give it some energy. Like this kind of thing. And this really is down to your own kind of artistic expression. I might just kind of have a few black bits kind of coming off here. I suppose I could even draw a bit of a football here. Try and select colours that you think will make your picture look really kind of vibrant and lovely. I quite like the yellow that is going on here, so I might put some more yellow coming in here. Actually, what I do have over here are some gold stickers. I might just stick one of them on. I might just stick another one on. You know what? I think a lot of the time, the most important part of art is knowing when to stop. And I think that looks pretty good to me. I think I'm going to call it a day there. And that is my Jean-Michel Basquiat worry picture. I've got family, art and football. They're all the things that I am really kind of happy about. And then I've got not being cool enough, and it's being eaten by my worry chameleon. I hope you make some great pictures yourselves. Do share them with me using the hashtag OlafArt.
Grab a pencil, grab a brush, we're about to do Art Club!
Now, I don't know if you know, but as well as being the CEO and presenter of Art Club, I am also a children's book illustrator. Now, whenever I am drawing a children's book, before I start doing the main thing, I get a sketchbook and I fill that sketchbook with lots of little drawings of the thing that I'm going to be drawing. I am working at the moment on a book that is all about underwater, and I've drawn lots of fish, lots of plants, lots of coral, lots of seaweed, and I've also drawn lots of fish like this. And when I was drawing these fish, it was quite therapeutic, which means relaxing, and I did a video of me drawing them, which is this one here. And I put this video up online on my Instagram and Twitter and that kind of thing, and quite a lot of people liked it. And one of my friends showed it to his son, and his son did a version of this, and it looks amazing. I want to share that with you. Here it is. Doesn't it look great? And it made me think, you know what? I should do this in Art Club with all of you guys. So I am now going to show you how to make lots of weird and wonderful fish. It's really easy, and there is no right or wrong answer because it's all about experimenting, and it's all about putting different parts with different shapes. It's just a lot of fun, really. All you need is a sheet of paper and then something to draw with. I'm going to use my fancy brush pen, but you can use whatever you like. And we're going to start with the body shapes. Just draw lots of shapes that could be fish shapes. So I might draw, for example, a kind of shape a bit like that here, and then perhaps a bigger one. It's like that there. Perhaps a long sausage with a point there. Semicircle one here. What else could I do? Perhaps something that's a bit more of a fish shape there. Let's do one of these, but the other way around here. And perhaps squeeze in another little tiny one there, and that one there. So they're your main body shapes. Now we're going to do the mouths and the eyes. You can do them as big or as small as you like. And we'll start with this one here, Grumpy. Now we're going to do the tails, and you can do them sort of heart-shaped, like triangles, fans, wavy, all sorts of different shapes. Again, Really doesn't matter, just have a good old experiment. And next up, we're going to add some fins and some flippers. You can put them on the top, down by the tail, underneath, on the side, however you like. And the last thing to do is to add some patterns, some stripes, some splodges, some scales, some gills, all of those things, just to make it a bit more interesting when it comes to colouring it in. Oh, and you can also add some bubbles coming out of their mouths. And there you have it, lots of fishes of all different shapes and sizes. All you really need to do now is colour yours in. I'm going to colour mine in quickly using the magic of... magic, I don't know. There you go, do you like it? That was quick, wasn't it? Share yours with me using the hashtag OlafArt.
Why doesn't the Queen use this hand to wipe her bum? Because it's my hand! And that joke has come from someone called Olaf, aged 43.
Right, you may remember from the beginning of the show we were doing a two-part drawing and it was a Dadmer. That's half a dad, half a fish. Top half of a fish, which is the mer part, and then the bottom half of a dad, which is the dad part. So it's a Dadmer. Yours can be an Uncle Mer, an Auntie Mer, a Mum Mer, a Sister Mer, whatever you want, as long as it's half fish, half human. Right, we are now going to get our drawings and we're going to do the bottom part. Now, because mine is going to be a dad, I'm going to draw a waistband here. And I think it would be funny if mine was in his underpants and he was frantically running around looking for his trousers, because I sometimes do that and it is quite funny to watch. So we are going to draw a curved line here. This is where one leg is going to stick out. This is going to be the back leg, or is it the front leg? I'm not sure. It's going to curve around anyway to about there. And then the other part is going to curve around to about there. This is going to be his ankle. I'm going to draw the heel of his foot here. I'm going to draw the front of his foot here. Big toe, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 tiny little toes. And then we join that up. And a little tip actually, if you're drawing feet, bare feet, and you want to make the ankle look a bit more like an ankle, just do a little lump there. That's the ankle bone. I'm probably sure there's a correct term for the ankle bone. I don't know what it is. And we're going to do the next one now. So actually, let's finish the pants. So we'll do the bum bit of the pants there, and we'll do a kind of tiny bit there, and a curve there for the next leg, and then we join that up. And we'll do the front leg, and he's running, or it is running, I don't know what to call it. So we do a curve like this. It's going to be another leg, and it comes down, and kind of gets smaller to around about, a bit longer. Just make sure the legs look similar in size. And we'll do the heel, so a curve for the heel, and we'll draw the feet coming out here. Now the big toe is going to be down here, so I draw a big toe, and then again 1, 2, 3, 4 little toes, and just join that up. And you can do that same ankle lump there, Now I'm gonna do the pants as Y fronts, so they're the ones that have the upside down Y on them. Looks like this. The reason I do that is because they are the perfect comedy underpants. And to finish it off, I'm gonna do my Dadmer with some hairy legs. I don't know whether your dad has hairy legs or your mum for that matter. No, I'm not gonna judge, but I do, and I'm gonna do lots of kind of sticky out hairs that kind of go all the way down to hairy ankles, like this. And also, I think I'm going to go back to the face and give it a few more dad touches. So I'm going to give it a little moustache. I mean, your dad might not have a moustache, but I just think it makes it look a little bit funnier. One bit there, and then another bit of the moustache kind of coming out the back there. And do I give it some glasses? I'm going to give mine some glasses. So like a curved line that goes there, and then like the hook of the glasses that would normally go behind the ears, but our fish doesn't have ears. And I think that is it. I'm just gonna have him saying a few things. And if you remember from past art clubs, when I have speech bubbles, I do the writing first and then I do the speech bubble around. That way it fits every time. There you go, he's saying, where on earth are my trousers? Has anyone seen my trousers? I'm going to be late for work. And I've written Dadmer underneath, and I've also signed my name. So make sure you sign yours with your name. And all we're gonna do now is colour it in. And there you have it, your finished Dadmer drawing. I've signed my name at the bottom. If you would like to win my Dadmer, all you need to do is go to the comments of this video and type in the funniest thing that your dad or your mum or your uncle or your auntie, it really doesn't matter, has ever said. So type in the funniest thing they've ever said. I will see which one makes me laugh the most, and you will win my signed Dadmer drawing. Make sure you share your Dadmers, Unclemers, Mummers, Sistermers, or whatever using the hashtag OlafArt, and then that way I will get to see them all. Unfortunately, that is the end of the show. I hope you've enjoyed it. I mean, it has to end at some point. I'm a bit worried actually about Jeff, my sick pet bat. Hopefully he's all right. I've not seen him around for a while, but anyway, I've got a few things I need to say. If I could ask a favour, that would be great. I need you to click subscribe if you haven't. Click like as well, because I think that's like the law or something on YouTube. I'm really not sure, but yeah, click like, because that's what everybody says. Comment underneath with your best jokes. I need some really good jokes. Also, if you've done any of the artwork in today's show, share it with me on Twitter using the hashtag OlafArt. Tag me in on Facebook if you can. I don't know how it all works, to be honest with you, and Instagram, just so I can see them. It'd be great to see all of your artworks. What else would I like? Share it. Share Art Club. If you enjoyed it, share it with other people. If you're a teacher, set it as your class's homework. That way, you don't have to set art homework. It's a win-win. Why wouldn't you? What else? I think that's probably about it. So I'm going to say bye now. Bye! Oh, there he is. It's Jeff. Get out the way, Jeff. This is the bit at the end. Bye!